Hello again, welcome back to Football Spy Online, the show that knows that you're going to do the right thing and vote for Lewis Hamilton instead of Rebecca Hu for the Sports Personality of the Year award. Arsenal today, and if the Times is to be believed, then Arsene Wenger could finally be coming to his senses over Bentner and Gallas. The Times says that Wenger's ready to sell both of them. We told you earlier this week that Spartak Moscow want Bentner, who's nowhere near as good as he likes to think he is. His movement's good, but he just doesn't score enough goals. Be interesting to see who plays in the game at Borough tomorrow. Across North London, and here's a story to raise your eyebrows. Our own Football Spy page reveals that Harry Redknapp at Spurs is trying to offload Pavlyuchenko but can't find any takers. Personally, I'd actually see the sense in that he hasn't done badly with 7 goals so far this season, since Redknapp took over. But if Redknapp could get good money back for him and maybe get Defoe in, I would sell him. In fact, it's probably a good point to have a look at the websites because SkySports.com say Spurs are after the Bordeaux striker Fernando Cavanaghi, but the club don't want to sell. Setanta say that AC Milan have signed Thiago, the defender Robinho recommended to Mark Hughes at City, and Chelsea tried to nick on Onyekuru. And the excellent, as ever, Football 365 has Steve Bruce at Wigan expecting bids for Heskey and Zaki. Also, Sky Sports, very interesting this one, saying that Real Madrid want the reserve Middlesbrough winger Adam Johnson, only 21. Quick reminder that while I'm off for the weekend, you can pick up all your news on the websites of our sister papers, the Sunday Mirror and the Sunday People. Lots of good transfer stuff in there. Now back to the papers, and West Ham are after the highly rated Fiorentina striker Gianpaolo Pazzini. He's a former Italy under-21, scored the fastest ever goal at the new Wembley as part of a hat-trick against England in the first ever game there. Word is that West Ham will listen to offers for most of their players in order to raise the money to buy him. The Mail has Tony Adams at Portsmouth saying, your friend and mine David Nugent does have a future at Portsmouth until I suspect a decent offer comes for him when the window opens. The Mail has the latest instalment of Avram Grant's job application for work in the Premier League. Today, the former Chelsea boss is bizarrely admitting he didn't want Anelka because he believed the striker lacked passion, and he wonders why he hasn't got a job. Time for your messages. Jar of Jam says, what's the news on Heskey? I'm very interested in his possible move to Liverpool. Doesn't sound like a goer. It does sound like a goer. Benitez likes him a lot, apparently, and could move for him in January. King Kung Fu Cantinar says, what do you think about the two youngsters United have just bought, Ljajic and Tosic? I think they're both good players. Papers today saying that Sir Alex has been showing them around the club's training ground this week and that they're both fantastic prospects. Footy Arsenal is asking, is Vincenzo Iaquinta an Arsenal target? No, he's not. And MCFC Nuts says here, hi Darren, what do you think the chance of Man City signing Kaka in January? No chance. Milan would never let it happen. City would have to offer silly money to the club and to the player, which actually leads me quite neatly back to the papers. I deliberately didn't start with this one because, quite frankly, I'm getting a bit bored with City. But if they really do pay £20 million for Buffon plus 250 grand a week in wages, then the game really will be going to the dogs. Utter madness. Hull want the £5 million rated striker Aruna Dindan to play for them in the January transfer window. Everton want the out-of-favour Man City striker Joe on loan. 3 goals so far this season after going to City for £20 million. Not fit, loves the nightlife apparently, but he would play regularly. And I thought I'd get through this series without mentioning Berbatov after all the shenanigans from the summer, but I've got to mention him because lots of United fans believe they haven't been getting value for money. So I want your point of view. Prolific for United or just pants? Time for a few predictions. And Borough v Arsenal. Lots of Borough players unsettled by speculation linking them with other clubs. Arsenal got a good record on Teesside, and Wenger will be looking for much better than that rubbish against Porto in midweek. 2-0 to Arsenal. Liverpool against Hull. 3-0 Liverpool. No way that Rafa will get away with not beating Hull tomorrow. Spurs v Man U, cracking game. Berbatov, the 6-1 favourite to score first against his old side. But I think Spurs will want to win this one more than any other this season, 3-2. Wigan against Blackburn, a big game for Paul Ince, but I think his players will rise to the occasion, 2-1 Blackburn. More of your messages, and on our Football Spy blogs page, my old friend Roy, the Venice Tigers, turned against me. He's upset that I don't think Fraser Campbell should go back to Hull on a permanent deal. Says, Darren, you've got a nerve saying Carol Campbell would be better off surrounded by better players than going to Hull. What, Spurs? Check the table and stop dissing Hull. We've proved you so-called experts wrong so far. Don't be surprised if we get a result at Liverpool on Saturday. That told me. Can't see Hull winning at Liverpool tomorrow, but I take your point, Roy. Lionel is upset that Mark Hughes at Man City is after Craig Bellamy at West Ham. He says here, why are Man City after Bellamy? Hughes just wants him because he's Welsh. Doesn't mean you should still take him. I'd have Zaki instead of Bellamy. Hughes has all the money in the world, but he doesn't put it to good use. And Sadie Cum says, I think Tunkai should come back to Fenerbahce, not go to Chelsea. It's the biggest club in the world. Okay. And Yavuz says simply, Man City will be champions next year. Just time to bring you my stories of the week. I liked Peter Reid denying speculation he started in his own column saying he wanted the Sunderland job. I liked Jermaine Defoe buying a bulldog for his girlfriend Chantel. Like I said yesterday, the first time we used the words, don't worry, it won't bite. And my favourite story of the week was the one about the Kung Fu squirrels who gave some 2x4s to a rival gang who tried to muscle in on their turf. I'll see you next week.